everybody, Kyle Petty here with your month 3 update from LaVergne High School. And let me tell you, it's been a minute. We haven't seen these kids since last year. They rolled back from holiday break straight into the pressure cooker. And I mean that literally. Once January hits, every student build team we've ever worked with suddenly realizes, oh boy, this thing has to run, and soon. And when you subtract spring break, these kids have about 90 working days left. And with their mentor, the legend himself, Billy Lane, headed to Daytona for Bike Week, it's really closer to 80. I warned them back in November that time goes fast, and here we are. Jason and Billy split the class into 2 groups, rebuilding the triangle stand. The stand you saw in last month's episode, totally temporary. This team is fabricating the real one now. Dialing in the tail section and exhaust with Billy. Before break, Chris Carr dropped by and gave the kids a masterclass and a reality check on seat position, foot peg placement, and how those 2 things are the root of everything else. Today the team is adjusting all of it to align with Chris's guidance. Take a look at this progress. Pretty impressive, right? And yes, your eyes are just fine. That gorgeous stainless steel exhaust they're mounting is from our buddy Blockhead Moto. Blockhead is a big creator online and featured collaborator with Harley-Davidson. His tracker-style exhaust pulls straight from flat track DNA. It's custom made for the street. It's stunning, and I cannot wait to hear this bike fire up for the first time. Billy also walked the team through work he did off campus over the break. Let's be sure we're clear here. He didn't do it because they couldn't. Billy jumped in because the school doesn't have the necessary equipment, and due to the holiday break. If this didn't get done, the team would be struggling to hit the delivery date. Dummy axles and spacers, hand machined. A setup to reduce scissoring. And today we learned something big. This bike is going dual shock.
A vintage motorcycle would have a shock here on either side of the motorcycle that would come from the tail and mount to the swing arm and allow the swing arm to give you rear suspension, which is critical for handling. And then later they would use a monoshock that would go right up in here. But we can't put a monoshock in here because this is where the gas tank has to go.
Why? That big, beautiful fuel tank and engine that came stock on the Nystrom presented a positioning challenge that the team had to address. Neither the tank or the engine allowed a cantilever monoshock. That's real-world problem solving. You also saw the team use cardboard CAD, old school analog engineering. Sketch the tank pattern in a cardboard piece of paper, cut it out, it works. It teaches. So today's win, tail section, dialed in. Blockhead Moto, exhaust mounted. Brand new triangle stand, built. January nerves, oh yeah, they're still there. First up, custom paint from the King of Flames, Dave Perewitz. Dave is picking up paint-ready parts from Billy at the Sons of Speed race. In New Smyrna, I've got history at that track, so hearing that name brings back a flood of memories. Dave will hear the plan, then he'll see the parts. Then he'll start imagining the paint scheme and sketching, because that's what artists do. And here's where it gets wild. Dave paints, sands, signs, and clears the first coat. Parts go to every legend to sign, including me. The parts return to Dave for the final clear coat and striping. Everything gets overnighted back to Tennessee, final assembly, and then the track testing day. Let me tell you something. Trust me on this one. I'm working hard to be there for that day. While the build team was cranking away in the shop, Jody Perewitz dialed in to see the progress and to meet 2 of the members, Alejandra and Tally. I loved how Jody encouraged the young women on the team. She told Tally, it's hard, that's for sure, but stick to it. You and all women have a place here. With less than 90 days until the reveal, the list of little things is massive, like, oh, the entire electrical system? And we haven't even touched on that today. Crazy, I know. And we're out of time. I'll see y'all next month, right before Bike Week and right before these students head out on spring break. We'll be back in the shop with Mr. Bowers, the build team, and Billy Lane. Dave and Jody Perewitz will join virtually to talk us through the paint scheme. And who knows, maybe even Chris Carr or Scott Parker will show up at the school. Stick around. This thing is getting good.